Happy Valentine's Day and welcome back to another episode of Set to Love. I am your host, Eva Payne, and today we are talking about everyday wellness with energetic relationship coach Stephanie Marie Madeline. Here we go.
My name is Eva Payne. Welcome to The Flow Life, where we define love as live open, value everything. On this podcast, you are dialed in and set to love. Let's go for a ride.
Good morning, Stephanie. Welcome to Set to Love.
Good morning. It's such an honor to be here, your guest on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone, whether you're single, in relationship, just like sending everyone so much love.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we're all about here, staying set to love, regardless of what craziness is going on in life or where you're at. If you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, loving yourself and caring about yourself and taking time for yourself is really important. And so I'm so grateful to have you on today and to talk about wellness in our everyday lives. And can you just start off by just telling people a little bit more about you and how you became an energetic relationship coach?
Of course. So what I do as an energetic relationship coach is I help, and that's, by the way, that's a modality that I developed, combining all of the other modalities and studies that I've done. So what I do is I help genuine high achievers. So it could be whether you're single or already in a relationship, manifest their dream relationship. And I do that by helping you open your heart so that you can bring in all the yumminess and live life with renewed purpose, and more importantly, in love and in joy. And yes. So, and what was the second question?
Yeah. How did you get to that place?
Yeah.
How did you decide, like, this is what I want to do? So out of all the things in the world that you could do, how did you end up here in this particular spot?
So it's a very interesting story because as we were chatting, in just before we got on, my background is business. I have an MBA, and I started doing probably mainly finance, corporate finance, and real estate. And I really enjoyed the projects and the technical part, but I realized that my heart was really in leading people and helping them develop as whether they were analysts or in other positions. And I could really see the vision for them and help them get there. And then through a series of events that were not easy, as I got more and more into spirituality, it looked like my old life basically went away. And it was a lot of loss and a lot of grief and a lot of letting go and releasing at that time. And then little by little, I was able to see, I kept walking. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep walking. I don't know exactly where I'm going. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. You've been in parts, in life where suddenly everything falls apart and you're like, what do I do now? And I was lucky enough that I had the belief in myself. I was trusting myself, and I was like, I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I know I have this divine guidance, and it's going to put me in a new place, and I'm just going to keep going. And then along the way, I met certain people. I had, unfortunately, more difficult experiences, and I met more people that helped me go through those. And then little by little, like as I kept walking, it's like the path was unfolding itself and making it a little bit clearer every day. And so it's been such a beautiful journey of like going inward and basically getting to know myself better and being able to connect with more people and seeing what I resonated with and where I wanted to go and what were the things that would look good, but they were no longer applicable to me. And so through studying life coaching, clinical hypnotherapy, Reiki, and holistic nutrition, I practiced those things with my clients. But I kept looking for, okay, what is the one thing? What is the one angle where I can really have a massive impact, hopefully, on people's life? And one thing leading to another, I ended up meeting my significant, I always was this like hopeful romantic. Yes, like, I wanted this deep connected love.
Yeah.
And I met my significant other, and he helped me even further that process of really, really opening my heart and being like open to like every, not just the energetic, but like inside me, like, and it's hard to put into words, but really, um be completely open. And I'm so thankful for him for that. And that's what I realized as I kept working with clients, and even also seeing friends in similar situation. I was like, okay, this is the one thing that I've come to a point of mastery, and where I can really, really help people, because I want everyone to be experiences this happiness and this joy and those things where you like, you smile, no matter what's going on, you're smiling and you're so happy. So I'm sorry, that's a long answer.
No, I love it. I love it. It really gives context to why it is you do what you do and why you're in this space and how important it is. So thank you. No, I love that introduction. So when we talk about like everyday wellness and in terms of relationships, whether it's a relationship with yourself or in a relationship with other people, like what are some of the tips that you would offer someone to really taking care of yourself in those relationships for yourself and for the other person that you're with? What have you learned?
Sure. So some of the things, so there are a lot of good advice out there.
Yeah.
And whether it's it can be as getting fancy as getting a massage, or it can be as simple as getting a going in your own bathroom and putting some candle and a nice bubble bath, and relaxing with your drink or book of choice. But those are practices, like things you're actually doing. And what
Mhm.
I've learned through my personal experience and my clients is that there are a lot of things that we can do actually throughout the day that are very simple, and they only take a couple of seconds. So for me, it would be like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit more tired, maybe, or I'm not my joyful social self. It's like, what? So I will tune in. Basically, I'll be like, okay, what do I need right now? I mean, do I need to take a short break? Do I need to sit down? Do I need a glass of water? What
Mhm.
is the most loving thing that I can do for myself right now? And what I found is when I do that, it's like, let's say, for example, I'm a little bit tired. It's the end of the day. I feel my energy has been going down. And
Mhm.
I'll do that, and I'll sit on the couch, or maybe I'll lay down and I'll close my eyes for, it might be a minute or two. And I feel like, okay, I'm going to be, maybe I need to take a nap, and just the fact of closing my eye for a minute or two and really being like in silence, present with myself, listening to my body, I find myself often that's like just after those couple of minutes, then I'm ready to go again and I'm feeling good. Or I sit on the couch and I take a water, and maybe I'll play some mindless game on my phone or read a couple of a book that I like. And then just that little break, I'm ready to go again, and my
Mhm.
smile is back. So that's a very, very little thing that I invite all of your listeners to do.
I love that. So you're saying just really taking a moment to pause and be aware and present with yourself and just checking in with yourself, like asking yourself those questions. How do I feel right now? What do I need right now? Taking some deep breaths. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes, yes, and it's what I found is, not as, we don't need to, because we're asked, or we're invited to do a lot of journaling and prompts, and it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be this complicated exercise. It can really be like, okay, I'm feeling this right now, and just starting by acknowledging, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. I'm noticing maybe a little bit of drop in mood or a little bit of drop in energy. And it's like, and where is it in my body? Because we always want to link, for maximum results, we want to link the mind and the body. Like, a lot of
Mm,
personal development is focused only on the mind, and that's only part of the equation. So where do I feel in my body? Where do I feel it? And then, okay, what, and yourself, everyone here knows themselves the best. So
mhm,
what, instead of listening to someone's else advice, what, out of all the tools that I know and all the things that works best for me, what is the one thing that I can do right now that going to help me feel just a little bit better, and can I
mm.
do it?
That's beautiful. I love that. Okay, I can do that. I can check in with myself and I think that often. I think, what's the most loving next step I can take? So whether it's with an action item for myself or if it's in a relationship with someone, if I'm frustrated with that person or whatever it might be, I just think, what's the most loving next step I can take? So it might just be not yelling back. Like that might be the most loving next step I can take. Um, so I love that the way that you explain that is that's how I kind of I'm putting that with that. Just what's the most loving next step? Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
And
So
you were
thank
asking about relationships, so I can give you an example actually just from yesterday.
yeah, I would
So
love
we
that.
were, so that way your listeners have something, actionable. So we're on the phone with Mexican. He's very high energy, like, and especially when he gets excited about something, it's like, I want to do it now, and we're doing this, and you're living at this time, and this, and this, and that. And it's like, and for me, I don't know if it's me being a woman, I don't know if it's me just my own, but it gets very, the excitement is projected to be on the phone. What, it's the most loving and delicious thing in the world, and I would not change him for the world. It's like, ooh. And it gets a lot. And when he asked me to make a decision, then it's like, I all I could feel is his energy coming at me. And the so I told him, it's like, let me get off the phone, think about it for 5 minutes. I had told him 15, and then I'll get it back. And he's like, why do you need 15 minutes? I'm like, just let me do. I was in the middle of doing something. Let me just gather myself for a second. And then it was funny because it's like just after it was maybe 3 to 4 minutes. Then I call him and it's like, okay, this is, yes, I'm on board, and I can be, I can be ready at this time, and we'll go where we were supposed to go yesterday, which was actually to see a mineral and crystals, locally. So and it was, for me, it sounds like it's a small thing, but for me it makes the big difference, because otherwise you'll be on the phone like, okay, where can, okay, what do you need to do? And I'm like, just, okay, just pause.
Uh-huh.
Let me gather myself, and then I'll answer. And then he's like, yay, we're going.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm a very high energy person, so I appreciate that you my boyfriend's the opposite. He's the one who's like very like calm and cool and collected, and I'll say, "Oh, can we go do this? Can we go do that?" Can he just says, "Maybe, maybe. Hold on, let me think." He's the one who needs that pause for a minute just to like collect himself and go, "Okay, do I want to do that today, or how would that fit in the plan?" He just needs a little bit more time. And so just I think in a relationship, knowing each other and giving each other space to show up however you are, I think is really important. So it sounds like you understand him very well and he understands you very well.
Yes. And we work through that in the
Yeah.
sense where we're learn to know each other better. And I will
Mm,
say, I can also be the one who is high energy at times with things that I'm really excited to do, and he'll be the one who will need a little bit more quiet time. So it's not always one way, only one way. It could be both ways depending on the time. And that's why I invite everyone to reflect this, because we are together for a reason, as souls,
mhm,
whether it's in relationship, in friendships, in family relationship, and often we mirror each other and we forget that. So it's
mm.
if you're doing it yourself, it's like maybe they're doing it too at times, and it's not always like one solution for all. It's always dynamic, and that's the beauty of life.
Oh, yes, I love that. Thank you so much for that. So let's talk about another tip. I'm curious to see what another one that you might have, but one that I think, and one of the reasons why I even connected with you on Instagram, I believe originally was where you were talking a lot about nature and like being out in nature and like how that can really be like an everyday wellness tip, like really helping us to reconnect. So what are some of your thoughts around nature?
Sure. I mean, nature for me is really my happy place. And
Mm,
that's interesting because I grew up in a big city, lots of building, lots of concrete, lots of sidewalks. And I used to take, as a teenager, I used to go walk on my Wednesday afternoons when I didn't have class. I would walk around, and I enjoyed the action of walking. And then when I moved to Arizona, I mean, it's a beautiful state. Obviously, there's the Grand Canyon. There's so many national parks here too. And I found myself a new passion, which is hiking, because then I get to combine the walking, so the moving my body, moving the energy, and at the same time, the nature. And I found that when we go through, especially nowadays, we have more and more technology, computer, cell phone, tablets. It's really nice to be able to connect to the natural elements.
mhm,
You can think about in terms of just like life and the energy of life. You can look at it in the sacred geometry. You can look at it at the cycles of life. And so I found that every time I go in nature, I feel refueled. I and I know that. many of my clients feel the same way to different degrees, depending on where they're at in their, where they live. I mean, some are lucky to have a bigger yard, and some of us are in condos, high rise.
Mhm.
And so it's different for everyone. But what I try to make sure is that every day and I should say I'm lucky to overlook, greenery. So I know I'm already very lucky there. But even with that, I make sure to go walk. There's a little park by me, and that's the only thing I can do today. And I don't have time to go hiking, and we haven't. But it's so nice to go to the park and walk around for a little bit. Or when I go walk in the neighborhood, I'll look at the trees, appreciate the gardens of my neighbors, and there is something I think very healing for the soul in nature, and
Mhm.
it's so wonderful to connect every day with that energy that basically we're all coming from.
I love that. Yeah, and, even just getting up in the morning and stepping outside for a big breath of fresh air and welcoming the day. I love sunrises and sunsets, so even if I can't get out into nature, spend time on a hike or whatever, even just sitting in my backyard and just really appreciating the what is around me, the hummingbird that flies around, picking up the cobwebs, to go build the nest. Just the little things in life like that, and just having so much gratitude for how beautiful the world really is and how everything works in such harmony with itself. And so I love that. I love being able to just connect and be outside. I think that's a really great way to regulate your nervous system and your mind and your heart. And like you said in the beginning, taking that pause, and if you can do it, or just for me, going outside and sitting down and just, okay, what's my plan today? What am I going to do today? And what am I grateful for? And taking that minute has been really, really beneficial for me.
Absolutely. I mean, there's this common phrase which is take this time to smell the roses.
Mm,
And it doesn't have to be a rose. It could be another flower. It could be just appreciating the beauty of the tree that you have in your backyard.
mm-hmm,
And really, it allows us to slow down and in a very, very healthy way so that we can be more connected with ourselves and actually be able to take on the day, like just like you were saying, with more punch and more excitement. And we know exactly where we're going and we're focused with intention instead of letting things come to us all the time and being unfortunately a little bit more reactive. So
mm-hmm.
it's so important.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Thank you for that. Okay, we're kind of getting towards the end. So I'm curious from you, any final tips on everyday wellness, whether it's in a relationship, outside of a relationship, um, anything that is maybe top of mind for you that we haven't chatted about yet today? Anything specific to Valentine's Day? I don't know. What am I not asking that might be on the top of your heart or mind that you might want to close up with today? And then let people know how they can get in touch with you and find you and follow you.
Hey, that's such. There was like I felt like it was like five questions in
I
one. So
know. Well,
I
I'm
don't
giving
know.
you, so just pick whatever, wherever your intuition leads you. Go with that.
That's so. And it's like, and we're wrapping up. So like I have to like answer.
Well,
This
I
is
say wrapping up. I say, it's like a few minutes, just so you're thinking like,
okay.
okay, instead of 20 minutes, think like 5 minutes. That's my
Okay, okay. So let me start with the easy part. How to get in touch with me. So
okay.
I have this. So my Instagram is Super Wellness Woman. My Facebook is also at Super Wellness Woman, and I have a very beginning YouTube channel. I think Twitter too, but not much on there. So it's like mostly Instagram and Facebook. Super Wellness Woman. I also have my website www.superwellnesswoman.com. So those are the best place to find me and contact me and follow me. And so to answer your question, so let's say since it is Valentine's Day, let's wellness for Valentine's Day. The habit writing yourself. I mean, Valentine's Day cards are huge,
Mhm.
and whether we send it to your loved one, to your, I know if people were sending it to family members. How about writing one for yourself, to yourself? Like, what would be, because we remember to being, we're kind to others and we take care of others, their feelings, and we pay. But when is the last time that you really wrote yourself a love letter? And so the love letter is longer. So if you have, especially if you haven't done it in a while, how about a love card? Like, what do you truly love about you? Is it your um either bubbly personality? Is that you're very integral with your word, and that you're always there for all the people around you, like you're very caring? Is that you're um just happy to be who you are and where you are in life? Like, I love my life. Maybe that's as simple as that. And if you're not quite there yet, it could be something simple. Maybe you really like the way your hands look, and you're really grateful for what they allow you to do throughout the day. So those are just some suggestions, and I hope that you actually take on the invitation of Eva and I, and to do that today. Like, what are you really grateful and love about you? Um,
I love that. That's a beautiful piece of advice. I mean, how often do we write letters to ourselves or notes to ourselves? So, just a little love note to yourself today. I think that's really important. What a beautiful way to end the show. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate you, everyone out there, for watching and listening. And if you think that this episode might be able to help someone, please share it with a loved one. You never know who might need just that little piece of encouragement that Stephanie offered today. So, Stephanie, thank you again so much. And I look forward to connecting with you more online. And everyone, have a great week. And until next week, thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks, Eva. Bye.